features and benefits selling works. Your employees need to know all those things, and they need to practice them. They need to rehearse them. They need, if you get a brand new piece of merchandise in, explain the features and benefits to them, have them sell you on them. Everything, every concept, every service has a feature and a corresponding benefit to the customer. I have included information about that here for y'all. There's a couple of really good books out there that if you're going to hire employees, if you feel like your salespeople are not up to snuff, that I would recommend. Now, I don't know these authors, but I'm a book fanatic. I am every week in the bookstore, in the business section, looking for stuff. You should be too. My library is huge. There's one book by Bob Phibbs. Anybody ever heard of Bob Phibbs, the retail doctor? Pretty good at what he does. He speaks to big groups. He's really well known in the chicken and steak dinner circle. But he has written a book. I've got one here, by the way. It's called The Retail Doctor's Guide to Growing Your Business. It's on the list. I highly recommend this book. It was written in 2010, so it's new. It covers virtually everything you need to know to grow your business in some form or fashion. Great book. Go out and buy it. Also, there is a woman named Rhonda Abrams. I've listed her on here on the list also. She's out in California. She writes kind of specific business books. She has written a book on hiring employees. It's called Hiring Your First Employee. Don't let the name fool you. There is every bit of information basically that you need to know about hiring employees, paying them, compensation, benefits, insurance, what you can and can't do, what you should and should not do. It's a primer on how to deal with an employee. What do you do with the existing ones? What do you do with the new ones? How do you start to train them? Highly recommend that book also. Rhonda, again, I've not met her, but she's a pretty good writer, and she specializes in small business. So, again, I know in my house, my wife and I have books by the bed. I have the great novels, and I got business books. She has her novels and stories, and she has her business books. You can never stop learning, folks. Please, I beg of you. Retail, especially dealing with employees, is a constant learning process, and it's a constant changing process. One of the things that has now developed in the world of retail and dealing with people is the generations. This is a very hot subject and is worth y'all knowing, especially from an employee standpoint and from a customer standpoint. Baby boomers, Generation Xers, Generation Yers, all the way through, they all think differently, and they react differently, and they learn things differently. Someone who's in their 20s thinks and reacts to things totally differently from me. Guaranteed, totally differently. This is something that you want to learn because they're your customers, they're your potential employees, and the information's out there. If you've got 3 employees, one of them's 22, one of them's 30, one of them's 55, dealing with those people has to be done in kind of a different way. You can't just deal with them all the same way. Also, you want to understand that if you've got, for example, a 20-some-odd-year-old person, you've got an internet knowledgeable person there. Take advantage of them, right? Oh, yes, yes. Yeah, it's, I highly recommend that y'all get online and understand the different types of generations, because dealing with young folks now is a whole different world. There are good points, there's a lot of bad points. So do recognize that, and they're coming into your door. Okay. Now, y'all came here because you're either thinking of getting employees, you have employee problems, you've got questions. So let's take some time. Why are you here? What questions can we as a group answer for y'all? Yes, ma'am.
In a tourist area, you have your height season, you have your low season, and oh my gosh, the layoff, you have to lay off people.
Mm-hmm.
And you just can't afford to keep them. And in this economy, it's becoming worse. We've always kept a core staff, key people, but, you know, as the economy gets a little worse, the season's a little bit shorter, you say, okay, I'm gonna have to let go of that salesperson and this person. It's tough getting them back, and they also have an attitude in a tourist area, oh, I know this is temporary, I'm gonna get laid off, so you don't get highly trained quality people, because they're going to whatever city is next to you, because they have to have 40 hours, they've gotta have 12 to 15 to $20 an hour, they can't work on 8 and 9 and $10 an hour. It's a tough market. It's so
Yes.
hard training people and then losing them, and training them and losing them, and the bad attitudes that come with the whole tourist area.
Mhm.
We're fighting for them right now.
Yes, I'm sure you are. For those of you who didn't hear, she has seasonal situations, and many of you do. Depending on where you are, especially in a tourist area, you've only got X amount of people there to pick from as for employees. And it's tough to bring a bunch of people in when you know it's summertime, you're going to have a lot of people blowing through, then come fall, you got to let them go because you can't afford them, there's nothing for them to do. Tough situation.
In our area, we're just growing huge. Businesses are coming in, and the patrons say, they need 60 employees, they need 80 employees, they need 140 employees. And we don't have a community base that's big enough to support all the big business. The structure of our community is not controlled well within our local government
Mm-hmm.
to stop the growth. It has just gone boom, and everyone's screaming for help, and our poor customers that come into tourists aren't always well taken care of. And we're finding it on a big level in our area.
Well, you just said the magic word. It's a big problem. It's a Pigeon Forge. It's a Gatlinburg. It's a community problem. And y'all as business people may not be able to solve it. It's something that needs to be discussed.
I don't know whether to pay more and try to attract that person, like from Knoxville. I'm sure everybody's got maybe a city that's closer to the smaller town. Do you pay more to get higher quality people that can then drive in?
See a lot of head shaking on that.
And his argument is they're either a good worker or they're not a good worker, and when they live close or far away. I don't know what to do, because we have like this revolving door.
Yeah. Revolving door. If you're up against a lot of competition for good employees, one of the things that I recommend, especially for people who are in small towns where there's only X amount of people that you can hire, like you say, you've got Knoxville, Sevierville, other areas out there, get the word out there and see. Spread the word into Knoxville. There may be somebody who's willing to make that drive for X amount of money. You want to, number one, make sure that you blanketed the area out there with this is what we do. We are going to pay a little bit more than somebody else. We're going to offer benefits such as gas allowance, things like that, that you don't have to pay payroll tax on, something, benefits of some sort to get them to come. Um, With your situation, because it is a problem up there in the mountains. It'll become a problem in Asheville and some of the other areas in the mountains. This is one of those things that the community needs to get together and talk about it. If there's,
Have housing for,
Yeah.
to have college kids to move in, or people from other small towns that are maybe 80 or 100 miles away, that the kids maybe didn't go to college, and they might move to our community if there were apartments, if there was some place to stay.
Mhm.
Everything is a rental cabin for $150 a night.
yeah, that's a problem.
I
Well,
don't know whether to have 8 people, but I just work them to death and I pay them a lot of money, you know.
well, that's a possibility.
I really don't know what to do for my business, and I've jumped into a much bigger store, and I need good help.
Hmm. Well, you're not alone, obviously. So, y'all get together. Everybody who's having the same problem, see if there's a way for y'all to solve the problem. Because what you have is a unique situation. There are pockets of it all over the country, but you've got a unique situation. Y'all are there, you've chosen to be there, as have all the other retailers around. Get together, organize it, and to come up with some sort of solution. If you can't, then yes, you get key employees, you pay the heck out of them, and you tell them, you guys want to work 60 hours a week? I got it for you. And maybe you can work out some sort of compensation situation. If you've got a really good employee, I'll pay you X amount now, but when I have to lay you off, we'll work out something. Something. You've got a lot of options there that you're going to have to create. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
We have a challenge with,
I'm sorry.
we have a challenge with hiring, older, mature management staff. So we always hire, we've had a better, outcome of hiring inexperienced and training them from the beginning
Mhm.
and working their way up. But what is your recommendation with hiring experienced and older, mature management?
Oh boy, I got a story for you.